The
following video will illustrate how to load material on a Jesco 5-gallon supply pump. When installing a pail of material on a dual post PD series pump, follow these procedures. First, check to ensure that the elevator control valve is in the neutral position. Check to ensure that the ball valve supplying air to the pump air motor is shut off at this time. At this point, turn on the main air supply. Next, remove the T-handle from the follower vent port. Then, adjust the elevator air pressure regulator to approximately 30 psi. To raise the elevator, move the elevator control valve from neutral to the up position. Next, check to ensure that nothing will interfere with the follower plate, and then slowly raise the elevator to its full up position. The elevator control valve may be used as a throttle by alternately positioning it between up and neutral positions to control the rate of the elevator while it is being raised or lowered. Next, you are ready to install a new pail. Remove the pail top cover and check the material condition. Remove the center patch of covering if present. Next, add a sheet of 4 to 6 thou thick polyethylene to the top surface of the material under the 5-gallon follower plate to form a barrier between the follower plate and the surface of the material. Cut a hole approximately 7 inches diameter in the center of this sheet for the pump intake. Note, this sheet is required in addition to the existing sheet fitted to the surface of moisture-sensitive materials. Next, apply a liberal coating of lubricant to the follower seals. This lubricant must be compatible with the material and follower seals and will aid the seals in their effectiveness, as well as removal of the follower from the pail when changing pails. Petroleum jelly, otherwise known as Vaseline, may be used in many cases, except when petroleum is not compatible with the follower seal material. At this time, position pail under the follower and slowly lower the elevator until the follower is just above or just touching the lip of the pail. It is important to note to make sure that the follower plate will enter the pail cleanly and without cocking or binding. If the pail is not concentric with the follower plate, do not attempt to reposition the pail or follower while lowering the pump. Instead, raise the elevator to its full up position, then reposition the pail. With the pail properly positioned, lower the elevator into the pail until the follower plate contacts the plastic sheet covering the material surface. Leave the elevator control handle in the down position. Be sure to keep clear until the follower plate has fully entered the pail. Next, with the T-handle in hand, slowly increase the elevator air pressure until the material begins to ooze from the follower vent port. Note, there are 2 T-handles with this pumping station. One is simply a plug, which we will refer to as the T-handle. The other one is hollow and has an air connection on it, which we will refer to as the vent handle. The vent handle may be used to aid in follower removal. Some very viscous materials may require that a small rod or screwdriver be inserted into the follower vent port and used as a bubble breaker to aid in the removal of the entrapped air from under the follower. The tip of the T-handle is especially suited for this purpose. With the elevator control valve in neutral position, insert the T-handle into the vent port and tighten securely. Next, put the elevator control valve in the down position and then increase the elevator air pressure another 5 to 10 psi. Observe that the air pressure is not so great that the material starts to bypass the follower seals. The elevator control valve should remain in the down position at all times during normal operation, except when changing pails. Lastly, position the pail locators against the pail, just above the lowest chime or ridge of the pail, and tighten them securely.
There is no chimes on this pail.
These will help to automatically locate a fresh pail when changing pails. It is important to remember to trim the excess plastic sheeting once you're ready to prime the pump. Priming and operating the pump. After a pail of material is loaded, it is important to properly bleed any entrapped air from the assembly. It should also be done whenever a new or freshly rebuilt fluid pump is installed for the first time. To prime the pump with fluid and bleed the air from it, follow these procedures. First, adjust the pump air motor air pressure regulator to 20 to 25 psi. Allow the pump to cycle by turning on the air control ball valve for the pump air motor. Next, locate a suitable container to collect the material exiting the bleeder valve, and then open the bleeder valve located opposite of the discharge port and allow pump to run slowly by adjusting the air pressure as required. Air will be evident by either no flow from the bleeder or small gaps in flow accompanied by a popping noise. Allow the pump to run until certain that all air pockets have been bled from the system. At that time, be sure to close the bleeder valve.
That looks good. Moving through. Oh.
This process may take a couple strokes of the pump to purge all the air.
I would say do at least 2 strokes. You have upstroke, air pocket, and a downstroke, air pocket. That's looking good. See what it does on the upstroke.
Once you don't hear any further cracking of air after a couple strokes of the pump, you are all set, and you can close your bleeder valve. We're just about there now.
Like it.
And that should do it. From this point, you would tie your pump in with a hose to whatever appropriate metering system you're using and prime the rest of the system.